Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to show you how I managed to beat our woman grandmaster Margarita Voyska from Bulgaria. She was white and she started with the move e4. Now I went for the Caro Kann with c6 and after c4 I played d5. Now there's a lot of tension in the center right now, so she just takes it all here and I just played knight to f6. Of course, queen takes d5 is not very good because white just has knight to c3, gaining a tempo on our queen, which is of course not good in the opening because we will lose time moving the queen away. So that's why we just played knight to f6 and we will recapture this pawn with the knight. Now here, she played knight to c3 and I just took the pawn. And of course, if white takes our knight now, we will be happy to take it back with the queen because there's no knight to, go to c3 with a tempo to attack our queen. And also, she has an isolated pawn, and exchanging pieces when having an isolated pawn is of course bad, because this pawn is going to be a weakness. So that's why here she played bishop to c4, attacking our knight for the second time, and I just played e6. Now the point here is that we can allow her to give us an isolated pawn, and if she takes it with the knight, we just recapture it back with the pawn, and the point here is that we're attacking her bishop, and she's going to have to move, and we will get some additional time as well to play knight to c6 and just develop our bishops and have a nice game. So that's why here taking with the knight is not good. And of course taking it with the bishop is also bad because she has just given us a bishop pair, which is of course a great advantage. So that's why she just developed with knight f3 and now bishop to e7. Castles, castles, d4, knight to c6, developing our knight, and now she decided to take our knight with her knight, which again is not very good because we gain a tempo here on the bishop and we will develop quickly. Now after bishop to d3, we just played bishop to g4, basically pinning the knight to the queen and also attacking this pawn now, because this knight is no longer protecting it because of the pin. So that's why she has to do something. And she played bishop to e3, defending the d4 pawn. Now what do we do now? Of course, we just put more pressure on the pawn with bishop to f6. Now again, we're going to be threatening something like bishop to f3 and then just taking the pawn on d4. So that's why she played bishop to e2, so that the queen defends the d4 pawn. And what did we do? Of course, we put more pressure on the pawn with queen to b6, attacking the pawn again. We're causing quite great problems here and it's already very hard for her to play this game. Now she played b3, this pawn was also attacked here on b2, and now we played rook to d8. We weren't in a hurry to just take this pawn, to do something like this, because after all this, you can see that if something like this happens, this pawn falls at the end. Our pawn is not protected, so she can just take the pawn. And now we are not better at all. So that's why I just played calmly. I defended my pawn with rook to d8. This pawn is not going anywhere, so we will just take it the next move. So now she just played queen to d2. And now I decided to take the knight on f3 and take this pawn on d4. Because our pawn, again, is defended here by the rook. So now she played rook to d1, attacking our bishop, and I just took the bishop, she recaptured, and now of course d4, pushing our pawn because it was attacked by the bishop. And this is also a very nice move, because if she takes this, we will take it with the rook, attacking the queen, and also threatening some discoveries on the king. Now probably she has to play something like queen to f2 to get rid of that. But again, we're a pawn up and we have a very nice position. So that's why she decided to just take our knight at c6, thinking that after we, recapture this bishop back, she will just take our pawn here. And she has a fine position. After bishop takes c6, what can we do? Of course, we don't have to recapture the bishop immediately. We can first take the pawn on e3, attacking her queen, and only then we will recapture the bishop. So this is a really nice idea for black here. And after she moved the queen, we just took it with the pawn. And now, amazingly, we're like 2 pawns up, as you can see. We're just 2 pawns up and completely winning. But it's not over yet, of course. We still have to realize the advantage. So here she played king to h1. And I decided to trade as many pieces as I can. I just took the rook. After she recaptured, I played rook to d8. Of course, this doesn't lose a pawn here, because she just played king to h1 and has big bank rate made problems. So this doesn't work here. That's why after rook to d8, she just went back to e1, and now g6. Again, we're not in a hurry to protect this pawn, because if she takes it, she has, again, back rank mate problems. So that's why now she created some space for the king with h3, but now we just defend our pawn, and we're two healthy pawns up. And now how do we realize this? Well, we're pretty happy to exchange some pieces of the board, because we have such a big material advantage. That's why I played queen to b5 here. I'm happy to exchange queens, of course, because he's never gonna be able to, you know, just take this pawn and go into a king and pawn endgame, because she would still be a pawn down, which would be losing. So that's why here she moved to g4, and now queen to d5. Rook to e2, h5 attacking the queen, and now we give a check, rook to e1, and now e2. Here she lost on time, but the position is of course completely losing. Whatever she does, let's just see example continuation here. If she played queen to a5, we would have had this really nice move, rook to e5, because, you know, the queen has to keep an eye on the rook, so it doesn't, the queen doesn't have time to just take the rook, because we will take her rook with a check. And now something like queen to f2 is just a simple win, defending this pawn here, and we're going to promote on the next move. So the most instructive part of this game, I think, was just putting a lot of pressure on your opponent, as we saw here with playing bishop to g4. We're already putting pressure on the queen here with the spin, and also on the pawn on the center. And after she defends it, just putting more and more pressure, bishop to f6, queen to b6, and of course, also being patient, you know, not taking it right away, but also taking care of our pawns here, of our center, and only taking action when it's the right time. So if you like this game, guys, please watch more videos like this, subscribe to my channel, and I see you guys in the next video.